Hi everyone. So today I am going to talk all about undertones and picking the right foundation, finding your undertone first, which will make choosing your foundation so much easier. It's probably one of the most asked questions and probably one of the things I think that confuses people most about makeup. So I'm hoping that this video is going to really help and it's going to just make everything much clearer for you. So I have no makeup on at the moment, obviously, and I want to start like this because I want to show you how my skin begins and how a lot of us start our makeup. I have quite sensitive skin, and I, as you know, have a lot of redness in my skin around my nose and my chin, a little bit on my cheeks. It's better than it was before, but sometimes it gets worse than others like that. If I'm a little bit stressed or, you know, life is busy, which it is the minute, it tends to get a little bit worse. So that can make it flare up a little. But what I want you to think about when you're looking at your skin is people would obviously say, would a lot of the time say, because I have this redness, that my skin is a very warm undertone, but it doesn't, because that redness is a surface tone. It's not my undertone. It's something that's happened because of external factors. It's not how my skin tone is. My actual undertone is what you see here. So this is your best place to always kind of test your makeup. You'll always see me kind of going from the jawline down because I want it to melt away into the neck. We never really want to day have to bring makeup down our necks. I would do that for clients when they have a night out or they have a big event on and we want all the skin to look super flawless. But on a day-to-day basis, you want it to melt away so that it's really natural, and then it's not going to get on coats and scarves and things like that. So before you even begin with looking at shades and stuff, what I think is a really good idea is to look at yourself in the mirror, take your makeup off at night tonight and look at yourself in the mirror, tie the hair back and put a towel on so that you can see your whole chest area as well, and really look at the mirror and see how it looks and what color it is, and does it have redness, is it very clear, what kind of tone has your skin in that area got. Now obviously if you wear tan like I do, it can put a little bit of a you know, disguise on your actual skin tone, but if you wear tan every day, that's the color you're going to be going off. So you want to match it directly to this area here, because we don't tend to get blotchy like we would on our face, on our necks. And remember with your face as well, it is always going to have some sort of discoloration and some sort of unevenness, because as I always say to people, your hands and your face are front facing, like they're always out against the elements. So they're dealing with wind, with rain, with sun, with lots of different products, with getting scrubbed every day, getting washed every 5 minutes. So they are going to wear and tear quicker than the rest of your body. So that's why these things, they come along over the years, and someone might say, oh, well, I never had this when I was younger, but now it's starting. So it could be down to just, you know, exposure to being outdoors or life in general. So this is where our real gauge is going to lie. And then the other thing I want to say is that just with foundations as well, because of false tan and most of us wearing it these days, you will need two foundations if you want a really natural finish. So one for tanning days and one for non-tan days. And then what I tend to do is I mix the two together for the in-between days. It's for your own sake, so that you're not trying to warm up your foundation, your non-tan foundation, for when you have tan on, and then equally when you have no tan on, having to bring it way down. Because I always say to people, like, where do you finish if you have to keep going? You know, you want everything to kind of run seamlessly. Now that's obviously what I would say for the most natural finish. It's each to their own. So if you prefer to warm up your face with your foundation, that's totally fine. But this would be for more of a natural finish. So when we come to choosing our foundation, because we want to go with our undertone, sometimes it requires us to lighten our face rather than warm it up. So if I was to go with the color of my chin all over my face, it would look ridiculous, because it's got so much more color, because it's darker, because of the redness, than the rest of me, that I'm going to go be really dark of face and then have a totally lighter neck. So I'm just going to show you. It's like this color here. These are samples from our new collection. So I just said I'd use these just to show you. But this color here would be perfect for my chin, because you see the way it just melts away into the chin there. Okay. But now watch. Wait till you see what it's like all over my face. I'm going to just take some more out and pop it on. Oops, too much out. Okay, so even though it matched my chin, And look, it's going to look well on my nose too because my nose is so red. But this is the kind of finish that I'm going to get. Is that natural? Definitely not. So this is where I'm saying you have to lighten your face rather than go with these deeper parts. Okay, I'm going to quickly take this off and then we'll look at the colours that will actually suit and how to cool down these areas. So give me 2 minutes. Okay, so now that I have that back off, you can see my skin's gone a little bit redder again because I've just done a quick wash and put on moisturiser again. But now I want to show you, so sorry, what I meant to say before as well is, so when we look at our skin, we need to figure out what it is that we're trying to do. So because you can see I wear tan quite a bit, something with more of a yellow tone is going to suit my skin better because it's going to melt away into my neckline. When I've no tan on, I'm a neutral girl because I am quite pale. So with the yellow, I'm going to need that yellow first to counteract all the redness in my face and to cool my face down, but then also to melt away into my neckline. If you have a deeper skin tone, more of a peachy pink may suit, because what can happen is sometimes when you have a darker skin, it can look a little bit grey or a little bit ashy. So we want to warm that up with a little bit of pink or peach. And then when it comes to neutral, it's kind of when you have a bit of both. So most people can get away with neutral, but just be careful if you wear tan that a neutral can kind of pale you out a little. It can end up looking a little bit grey because most tans would have that warm undertone, like that yellowy undertone to it. So I'm definitely going to be a yellow base because of this redness. But always remember, the most important thing to remember is yellow counteracts red and pink and peach will counteract blue. So that's why generally around the eyes we will use a concealer that has a peachy pink undertone. And because I suffer with red eyes, I tend to use one with, like, I might mix my pink and my yellow, but more often than not for me, because it's not blue that I have, it is red, I will use the yellow there as well to brighten it, but always go half a shade lighter than my foundation. Okay, so we're going to go with our yellow base next. So this is our light medium 2 of the Fresh Skin. So I'm just going to show you on my jawline first. Actually, do you know what I'll do is I'll show you on my chin, because see the way there, you're going to be like, no, that is far too light, Susie. Do not do it to yourself. But when you pop it on, I'm just going to grab my buffer brush. I do not like to use my fingers. I've got foundation in my nails, one of the bugbears of foundation on your hands. But when I start to pat it in and blend it in, you see the way it's a perfect match for my neck. So it's really blending my neck in and it's taken all that redness away from my chin. Okay, so next then we're going to put on our little bit of neutral. So this is from some of the foundations that are coming in the summer. So again, you can see that that tone looks a little bit light on my face, but when we start to blend it in, it really naturally blends into my neckline. And that's what's really, really important. Now, the only thing, because I have the little bit of tan on today, is that when it sets, it may set a little bit paler than my tan, because the tan is the yellow tone and the neutral has no tone, like it's just a flat tone. So what I'll need is put a little bit of bronzers to warm that up. But you can see that that now is looking so much more natural than the first one. Whereas if I went with the colour that's on my nose, we would have been way too dark of the face. So I'm going to just put this on all over my face. I could actually use both, in fairness, today. I'm going to use the neutral just because I have that mostly on, and just tap it all over just so you can see the finish of it. So I just popped on the rest of that and I put on a little bit of concealer and my lip gloss. But now you can see that that colour completely melts away into my neckline. It's covered up all the redness, it's evened out the skin tone, and now I can go on my makeup. So another thing to say as well is that with your foundation, you don't ever want to warm the face and contour the face and highlight the face with your makeup, with your foundation. Your foundation is there to basically even everything out. So it's to give you that flat surface so that you can bring light and shade in with your concealer and your bronzer. So even around my eyes, you can see they're that little bit lighter now because I have a concealer on that's a half shade lighter than my foundation. And it's lifting the area as well as taking away that redness. But now I need to bring shape back to my face with putting on my bronzer and my blush and things like that. So it's trying to remember not to try and do all the jobs with your foundation. Your foundation is there just to even everything out, make it look super natural, and make your skin look like the best version of itself. And that's why I always say try and go as close to your own skin tone as you can, rather than, you know, really darkening it up with foundation, because it won't look natural then and you'll end up looking like you're caked in makeup. So what I'll do is I'm going to go off now and I am going to finish the rest of my makeup, and then we'll come back and chat about the shades and things like that. So I'll see you in a second. I have just finished my makeup, and I really hope that that was helpful. I want to go over just a few pointers again and just reiterate some things that we said. So when you're looking for your undertone, it's around the neckline here that you're going to look, not where any sort of the redness or the discoloration on your face is. It's around here. And this is where we want our foundation to blend away into. This is the area we want everything to melt into. Remember as well that you won't get away with, if you wear tan, one foundation for every look. So you're going to need a foundation that's going to suit your tanning days and a foundation that's going to suit your non-tan days. And then you can have one that's for when you're in between, or, you know, like you can mix the two together for an in-betweener. And then also remember that during the summer, you might have more color in your skin than you will in the winter. So that's going to need, even if you don't wear tan, a different type of foundation too, because you're going to be a little bit darker. When it comes to, you know, the makeup sitting in your skin, or if it goes in patches, that's a skin issue. I'm going to do a full video on skincare. In this one, I only wanted to cover undertones, rather than going really into shades and stuff. But you could see at the start there when I put on the shade that suited the color of my chin, but when it went everywhere, it was going to look ridiculous. So sometimes you need to cool the face down if you have a high coloring to warm it back up. And then also just remember that if you want a really natural finish on your makeup, that, you know, you need to have it, you need to embrace your skin tone. If you are really pale and having a really, you know, dark foundation face, that you put your hand up and it's going to be a completely different color, or even for your arms, it's not going to look natural. So it's not going to look great. So we want to make sure that we're really embracing our own skin tone, or if not, if you like to be darker, pop the tan on in the hands and everything if you want it to look natural. And I will also say again that it is each to their own. So whichever way you like to wear it rather, is your own preference and your own opinion. I just wanted to go through what is the most natural finish and what will look like you're not wearing anything at all, but your skin will look flawless. And the last thing I'll say on it before I go is, everyone has texture on their skin, so please don't kill yourself trying to get rid of texture or make your skin look like it's airbrushed. We all have it. And you might see on Instagram, things like that, photographs of people who haven't got any bit of it. It's either airbrushing or it's really good lighting. So in here, obviously, I have studio lights on because I want to show you the makeup as best I can. But it's going to be flattering as well. But when I come up close, you can see that I have texture between my brows. You know, I have it around my cheeks, and that a little bit of powder is helpful there. But it's something that's not going to be not visible in real life unless you wear a lot of makeup, and then you're going to look like you've got very heavy makeup on. It's going to start wearing you rather than you wearing it. So embrace your skin as well, and just wear it with pride. I think, like, that's what I would love people to, you know, do more, rather than trying to cover it all up. It's just, you know, like, once you take a little bit of discoloration out, we don't give ourselves enough credit for how clear our skin is in most of our face. Like, the little kind of 5% that might be discolored or have high coloring can really make us want to cover the whole thing up. And, you know, sometimes we only need a small amount to even that out, and everything else looks great. It's like I would always say to my clients who have acne generally takes, you know, over maybe about 5 to 10, maybe even 15% of the face, but the rest of the skin is really super clear. So I like to work on that area when we're trying to do covering, rather than cover the whole face with the heavier makeup, because then you're going to get this lovely fresh look in your skin, and it's not going to be overdone. But I do hope that was helpful. Please, if there's anything that I have missed on the undertone topic, put it in the comments so I can answer them and let people know when they're reading through them. And I will do another one again on different foundations and shades and things like that. But the undertones, if I can get that one clear for everybody, I think it's going to be a game changer. You're going to save a fortune because you won't be buying loads of different colors in the hope that they'll do, you know, X, Y, and Z. You're going to know the color that's going to suit you and that's going to work best on your skin. But like that, if I've missed anything, let me know and I will talk to you soon.